and welcome to another segment of Anderson County Serves Here. Today, we are so fortunate, thanks to Anderson County Administrator Rusty Burns and Anderson County Council, to be able to tell you about how organizations in Anderson County serve the entire county of residents. And with me today is Greg Blalock with the Boy Scouts. And Greg, I just want you to tell me a little bit about how did you get involved with Boy Scouts?
So I got involved as a kid here in the Blue Ridge Council. The Blue Ridge Council, we serve 8 counties in upstate South Carolina. I was a scout here in Anderson County. Started when I was in 4th grade.
4th grade, now that just seems like yesterday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But now, today, Greg is over the entire Blue Ridge Council, as he said, 8 counties. And so tell me about something that happened to you as a young scout that you can still relate to in your role as the head of the whole kit and caboodle in this area.
I got involved in 4th grade as a child, had a great time. Went out to Camp Old Indian, learned how to shoot a rifle and build a fire using a hot spark for the first time, and just had a great time out there. But I got involved as an adult because of my upbringing. My parents were foster parents, and they fostered several kids throughout my childhood, and we had seen pretty much everything from kids that were sexually abused, to physically abused, to substance abuse, and about 20 years ago, when I decided to enter the Boy Scouts professionally, that was the basis of my entering, is to make sure that young people, no matter their background, have an opportunity for positive adult role models.
Tell us more about what would happen for a scout at Camp Old Indian.
Well, we have some scouts here today, and they may be better to ask about their experience. It's been a few years since I was a scout out at Camp Old Indian, but really, it's 1,000 acres in the mountains out towards Travelers Rest. It's just a beautiful facility, and I think what I would say is youth get to experience their dreams in a hands-on environment out at camp.
I have said earlier on a segment that I was a Girl Scout dropout. I went to one meeting and I was too shy to go back. One of my biggest regrets in life, because I think scouting as a whole offers young people the opportunity to grow in a way that I don't think any other organizations are able to do. And when we talk about the opportunities as in going to camp, and so do you remember as a camper meeting people that you still engage with today?
Yes, I do. The gentleman who got me involved in 4th grade, his name is Mike Ingram, and he is currently a scoutmaster for one of our troops. So when I was in the North Carolina area as the CEO for the local scouts out there, and I reached out to Mike Ingram when I saw the upstate come back open, and gave me an opportunity to move back home. So that connection from 4th grade actually helped me get a job here in the upstate.
As we think about scouting today and in Anderson County, for those that are watching, can you tell them what they could do to support the work of Boy Scouts here in Anderson County?
Our programs are for boys and girls, kindergarten all the way up to 18 years old. Yes, young ladies could be Cub Scouts or Scouts BSA youth. To support our programs, really, we just want to get more kids involved. We want to serve as many kids that desire to be a part of our programs. So we do have outreach efforts. We want to make sure that money is never an obstacle to participation. And every youth that wants to be a scout can be a scout, regardless of the background that they come from. If families are interested, they could go to www.beascout.org and put in their zip code and find a local unit.
Well, Ben Rosenberger, we are so happy to have you. You are more the person that is intimately involved in the work of Anderson County. And I know you have just moved to my hometown of Pendleton, and we're thrilled to have you here. But talk a little bit about how important it is for you to find adults in the community that serve as the role models in the Boy Scout program?
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Carol. Adult role models are truly the lifeblood of the Scouting program. Without adults willing to volunteer their time, talents, and resources, Scouting wouldn't exist. And the adults are the ones that make the impacts in the lives of the youth and that equip them to succeed in life. I know for me that the adults that I've come to know, both in my time as a youth in the program and then come to know closer now that I'm an adult working in Scouting professionally, those are the people that are really the boots on the ground, the people that are molding and shaping the lives of our youth to make a greater impact in the world tomorrow. We actually have troops all across Anderson County. We have some over towards basically any elementary school, there's a troop within 2 or 3 miles of it. We have Cub Packs, which is K-5 all the way through 5th grade, and then we have Scouts BSA troops for both boys and girls spread out all throughout town.
Can you tell us a little bit more about when girls came into Scouting with the Boy Scouts and what kinds of activities that they do, if it differs from what you have for young boys?
Girls have been in the Scouts BSA program since 2018, and in the same way that the Scouting program has benefited the lives of boys since 1910 when the Boy Scouts was brought to the United States of America, it has that same capacity to benefit the lives of girls. And the program is exactly the same for boys and girls. So the girls have the same exact opportunities. They can earn the same merit badges, earn the same ranks, hold the same leadership positions, and then also achieve the rank of Eagle, which several local girls in our neighboring counties have already done so.
So Brandon, you are a member of Boy Scouts here at First Presbyterian. And so tell us a little bit about why you wanted to join the Scouting movement.
My personal experience in Scouting started when I was 10 years old. I was invited by a group of friends from a local troop, and I entered the organization because a bunch of my other friends were going into the organization. We'd stayed as a group for years, and I joined Cub Scouts before that. So personally, I enjoyed the organization and I stayed there because I found a wonderful sense of community. So many people there influenced me positively to this day. They taught me a lot of values that I still keep with me. In 1910, businessman William D. Boyce had an experience in London. He was supposed to be arriving to a conference with some of his fellows when he became lost in the foggy streets. A fellow in a uniform much like mine appeared out of the fog and led him to his location. When Boyce offered to pay the boy, he refused the payment, saying that he was a scout and was obligated to help those around him. Boyce was so impressed by this act of charity that he explored the Scouting movement that was started by Baden-Powell, and he, along with other naturalists and adventurers like Daniel Beard and Ernest Thompson Seton, decided to form the Boy Scouts of America.
So Brandon, tell me a little bit more about your favorite Scouting activity.
Personally, me and my family and some of our close friends in the Scouting organization will go on these long kayaking trips, canoeing trips. We'll pack a week's worth of food and we'll travel down a major river for about a week. And there's such a sense of camaraderie that comes over you while you travel down together. That's a really cool experience.
Thinking about how long you have been in Scouting, how long before you will reach your Eagle Scout status?
I hope to complete it within this year, or at the very least next year, so probably 2022. I'll be 17.
When looking at professional men, you find so many times that those that have great success will have being an Eagle Scout on their resume. So I wish you the very best in obtaining that rank within the Boy Scout movement.
Eagle Scout is definitely a very worthy pursuit for people that want to be successful in their community, because it teaches the very nature of the American society. It teaches self-dependence. It teaches the ability to manage a project and a goal to its completion. And more than anything, it teaches a respect for those around you.
When you think about the fact that you are working with many more children and youth beyond your own, how does it make you feel that you are making that kind of impact on them?
Boy Scouts has been a part of our family's life since my oldest child, Brendan, was a tiger. And we looked at Scouting as a way for him to learn more skills, to be active, and to really develop into those leadership roles and be a truly active part of the community. And then it was an easy progression between having him in Scouts and then us being leaders in Scouts, both my husband and I, and then all the way through to my daughter being involved in Scouts as well.
So, Ms. Lynch, we are happy to be with you here today at the campsite of First Presbyterian Church for the Boy Scouts. Why have you been involved as a parent in the Scouting movement?
Scouting is definitely about making an impact on our youth, and it's about changing their lives. There are so many that we get to interact with and lead to a better place. You know, they may be coming from a broken home, they may be coming from a situation in the education system where they're struggling in school, but yet they excel in Scouts, and it gives them that confidence to truly become who they can lead and who they can develop into in the future. And it often will lead to their future careers, and them realizing if they start this particular merit badge or a particular event at camp, and it helps them realize those potentials that are hiding within them. And it's amazing to see their faces light up and their eagerness to learn right from the beginning, and then truly blossom as they continue to mature, coming into the troop or even the pack, and then seeing them several years later just truly in their own element.
One of the things that I always think about with Boy Scouts is buying the popcorn. So tell me, do troops still sell popcorn?
We sell a lot of popcorn. We absolutely do. And we really appreciate the community support that we get on that, and the recognition that goes with our uniforms and our Scouts standing out there and looking at those little first grade tigers. And they are so eager to get out those words to sell popcorn, but of course they stumble over them. And then just a few years later, truly having that confidence to go up to those customers and explain to them the benefit of selling the popcorn, and having that buy-in and that responsibility to raise the money that they will need to send their own self to summer camp.
Several years ago, I made a decision that if a child asked me to buy anything, that I would say yes, because I agree that this is a way to help build their confidence. I buy loads of Girl Scout cookies. I've bought lots of popcorn. But just last week, a former Boy Scout, or I guess Boy Scouts are Boy Scouts forever, he walked into my office at United Way, and he had something he wanted to discuss with me. But before he left, he reminded me of coming to the mayor's office in Pendleton, selling his popcorn, and thanking me for buying the popcorn from him. One of the greatest things that we can do as adults in our community is to support our children. And we can do that by simple things like buying popcorn. Well, Caroline, how long have you been in Scouting?
Since I was born.
So Caroline, tell me, what is it like to be part of a Scouting family?
Well, it's very embracing and, well, busy. It's very fun and exciting.
Now, Caroline, do you have any siblings that are not part of Scouting?
Nope.
Okay.
I have 3 brothers, no sisters, and all of them are in Scouting.
Over the next year, Greg and I and a few other folks from the other organizations that you've heard from recently, those 5 originals that we call them with United Way, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and the Y, will be planning the Legacy Dinner. It's going to be an opportunity for this community, our Anderson County community, to honor, support, and celebrate not only United Way 75 years, but our 5 original agencies.